Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for another video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at VeChain, aka the VET token. And we're going to ask the question, would I buy or should you buy, not financial advice, in the bear market? This is installment 31 of 1001. You can see the entire series, a link to it in the description of this video. And so let's go ahead and ask this question. Would I buy VeChain in the bear market? This is a pretty simple answer, and the answer is yes. And so let me give you a few reasons why. One is if you understand blockchain technology, and if you believe in blockchain technology with its potential in the future, then VeChain just makes sense. I mean, you can read it on their website here, the public blockchain that derives its value from activities created by members within the ecosystem, solving real world economic problems. And so this is the thing. If you look up VeChain use cases, you're like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to have this recorded on the blockchain, which is immutable. Okay, the immutable blockchain, that is why the VeChain has so much potential to provide real world opportunities. So what do I mean by that? Let's just talk about real world economic problems. What are some practical uses for VeChain? What is VeChain even? Well, VeChain, think about the supply chain, all the supply chain issues that we've had since COVID. VeChain can help solve that. That's just one example. But even looking at their white paper here, I noticed this. So let me just read this part right here. VeChain started business engagement for blockchain use cases and implemented the first blockchain solution of anti-counterfeiting and traceability for luxury products in early 2016. Recording, tagging, keeping this data on the blockchain, which is again immutable. Traceability, you can get the data for exactly where everything has been. That data can't be falsified for luxury products, for products that it's very important to keep that data. Let's keep reading. Now, there are dozens of live enterprise applications running on the VeChain Thor blockchain used by established businesses. Walmart, I know that they've partnered with Walmart, with BMW, with some other ones. Let's keep going. In multiple industries across the world. In the past few years, based on the numerous projects we've co-developed with consulting firms and the feedback from enterprises, we formed our own methodology to onboard enterprises that are mostly not blockchain savvy. And so they're bringing the blockchain to corporations, to people all around the world, to enterprises, to institutions all around the world. And they're doing that through VeChain toolchain. There was another thing that I saw here that I was just like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So VeChain are working, it must be from someone in Europe who's written this, but VeChain are working with BYD, an electric car manufacturer, and rewarding EV drivers with carbon credits in DNVGL's carbon ecosystem. And so you think about this, you put this data, the data is recordable on an electric vehicle, and you can see that all the miles that have been driven, everything that's been done in that regard, and then you base it off of that information. You can issue carbon credits with their ecosystem. So guess how drivers upload their data using VThor, which I'm not going to get into explanations on that until I make a video on VThor, but there are two cryptocurrencies at play here. And VeChain's patented multi-party payment protocol, enabling the user to never have to own crypto, yet still use the blockchain. Mass adoption 101. And so you'll hear a lot of the same thing in this regard, that this is bringing mass adoption of blockchain technology to the masses, and they may not even be realizing that they're using blockchain technology. But looking at the charts, because it's very important, we've got to look at the charts. And, we can see here that VeChain peaked at about 27 cents when was that? April of 2021. And they have gone down as much as 90%, more than 90%. And now, as of the day that I'm making this video, a little over 3 cents per token. And so, about a 90% drop. That is pretty much what I'm looking for if I anticipate that a cryptocurrency is going to make a higher high next cycle. I believe that the world is VeChain's oyster. And so there's a lot of potential for growth in the industry, and there's a lot of potential for VeChain to eat up a lot of that growth. This was a phenomenal buying opportunity last bull run. like just for example, September of 2019, it was at 0.3 of a cent, got up to 27 cents. That is almost a 100x for VeChain. Am I expecting a 100x this time? No, but I would expect at least a higher high, and that's a 10x from about a 10x from today's price. And looking at their tokenomics, the tokenomics are fantastic for what I'm looking for. It's not too inflationary. And so I just discovered this site today. I'm going to be using it for a lot of my videos that I'm making here. Messari.io. You can just see a lot of hard data. And what I'm seeing on this website here is inflation rate, non-existent pretty much. Current year plus 10 projected supply, 86,716,000,000, et cetera, et cetera. 2050 projected supply, 86,716,000,000, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, circulating supply is 72 million, liquid supply is 86 million. Every VeChain token that has been created is all that's going to exist. That is very encouraging to me in regards to, I don't want to see, 160 billion 4 years from now. Because that means that as those new tokens enter the market, that they're going to more than likely be dumped on the market, and so it means that the price is not going to go up nearly as much. But you can see other things here, other really interesting things. All-time high, 27 cents, April 18th. A little over a year ago. Cycle low, as in, I think that's talking about the Bitcoin cycle. 2 cents on June 18th. And so that was about 2 months ago, a little under 2 months ago as the time that I'm making this video, up 54% from its cycle low. You can see ROI year by year. This previous cycle was VeChain's first cycle. And so this, just looking at that, we will see there's just a lot more when it's the first cycle, when the previous cycle was the first cycle, there's a lot more to look at, including tokenomics and fundamentals, which is why I'm taking more time looking at those things. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, I think this is a really good buying opportunity for VeChain, seeing it at 3 cents. Given the fact that, in my opinion, it is more likely than not that it's going to put in a higher high next cycle, and that just the blockchain and VeChain in general is going to grow over time, and that it has a lot of potential to do so. Current market cap, 2.2 billion. I'm not going to give any projections as far as what I think the market cap could be one day, but I do think it'll be much higher, much bigger than where it is now. I don't, and a big thing too, I don't really know, maybe there's some smaller cryptocurrencies that are even competitors to VeChain. I don't know exactly which ones are. Now, VeChain does focus on things like Internet of Things, so IOTA is a competitor to that, and Web3, there's plenty of competitors for that. And so in that regard, yeah, competitors. But when it comes to specific VeChain, on-chain, whatever analysis with different potential things, I don't know of a specific competitor with this, tracking supply chain type things, with anti-forgery, anti-fraud type things that are working on, with the carbon type stuff that I was talking about. I don't know. I mean, there probably is, but it's nothing on my radar as of right now. Perhaps as I go through this series, there will be more. But I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think. Will you be buying VeChain in the bear market? Do you know of a specific competitor? I wouldn't be surprised if there was something in the works, or if there was something already out there as a 100% competitor to VeChain. And yeah, that's all I have today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful week. I will see you in another video.